Hello, Namaste. Today I am going to talk on a very interesting as well as confusing topic. That is about what is infatuation and what is love. Are they different or same? Okay, let's start without wasting our time. Let's start with infatuation first. What is infatuation? If we see the meaning in dictionary, infatuation means a foolish, unusually extravagant passion or love or admiration, or a temporary love of an adolescent. You may get many more different types of definition in different dictionaries. Now let's understand about the infatuation a little bit more. Infatuation is the state of being completely lost in the emotion of unreasoning desire, an intense feeling of deep affection. Infatuation tends to happen very quickly with a strong feeling of attraction, fascination, and fixation towards someone, often without actually knowing them well, and gives a feeling of being loved. The foremost symptom of being infatuated by a person is wanting to be around that person. Infatuation is based more on physical attraction. Someone who is infatuated is constantly thinking about that person. The feeling develops very quickly after meeting someone, and the infatuated person may feel like they have found the one even though they have just met with each other. Being controlled by the brain chemistry, not the heart, loss of ability to make rational evaluation of what is true, valuable and worthy. In infatuation, you are constantly thinking about that person. You haven't had that many real interaction or deep conversation with each other. You are already have a strong feeling for that person. Infatuation though comes with a feeling of passion. You feel like this person is basically perfect and ideal partner. You feel like this person is a perfect match for you. You feel vaguely obsessed with that person. You are very much physically attracted to that person, and it can be sometimes distract you from exploring other facets of that person, and you don't know the person that well on an actual personal level. Most of what you know about the person is surface level, based on appearance, any skill, or based on their behavior in a group setting. Most of what you know about the person is from hearsay or social media, not from actual conversation or experience you have had with each other. You fantasize about the person despite knowing them on a deeper level. You ignore early signs of incompatibility that go against your fantasy. Means you don't try to know the weakness of that person, or if you know, you ignore it. And you desire to be always close to that person at any cost. You feel little disappointed when the person doesn't meet your expectation, or you are overjoyed by the idea of having this person or being chosen by him or her. You are forming strong feeling for that person very quickly. Everything moves super quickly and you want to hit the relationship milestone as fast as possible. But this feeling is temporary in life and goes off after some time or some period when the person is out of sight or someone else takes that place. But in some cases of separation, in the beginning, you may have the symptom of anxiety, panic, depression, jealousy, etc. Or you may think of self-hurt or even ending the life too. Now, let's shift towards love. What is love? Let's go first with the dictionary meaning of love. Love is described as a profoundly tender, passionate affection for another person, a feeling of warm personal attachment or deep affection as for a parent, child or friend. So in this way, love is much deeper experience of knowing someone fully, feeling bonded and close to them and caring about them in a way to see that person happy and not centered around how that person makes you feel. Love can happen without conscious intention and hence pure. Love doesn't expect anything in return. Love is more than just a feeling. It requires some knowledge about the person and being able to love despite knowing that person, that their love is flawed or imperfect. Love is not self-serving but the willing to sacrifice or compromise. Loving someone means knowing them, Love is a form of intimacy, and intimacy requires being known and seen. Love comes with passion as well as intimacy. Love is also tolerant and forgiving. The feeling may continue throughout the life even if the person is not present in the life. Love is unconditional and real deal. It depends with the passage of time. A solid partnership which can provide the ideal atmosphere to raise deep affection, contentment, confidence, care and givingness. Partners communicate and negotiate appropriate expectations, requires a lot of selflessness and polite assertiveness. Now, the question comes, does infatuation turn into love? Infatuation doesn't always turn into love. Sometimes it stays that way until the relationship comes to a close, either because the object of infatuation fails to live up to the fantasy or because they don't reciprocate the feelings. But if these factors meet, then infatuation can turn into love. If you are able to accept the disappointment and willing to give rather than getting or self-serve, infatuation is self-serving because you feel good fantasizing about that person. But the reality is that this person who you think is perfect is probably may not be perfect. If you are able to give, sacrifice and compromise with the person you are infatuated with joy and willingness, yes, it can turn into love. Sometimes the question arises, is infatuation a bad thing? Infatuation is not necessarily a bad thing. It just requires getting to know someone more intimately for it to grow into love. But infatuation can be unhealthy in extremes. When you are infatuated, it probably means that you really like their appearance sexually or physically attracted to that person intensely. It is important to have physical attraction towards someone to develop romantic relationship. But if infatuation becomes an obsession with unrealistic expectation and demanding perfection, yes, it becomes bad. But infatuation can be a normal part of in the early stages of getting to know someone or in a new relationship. It feels very intense. That is why many people confuse infatuation with love. Infatuation can also be present in the process of falling in love, and in healthy amounts, it is not necessarily a bad thing. If infatuation turns bidirectional with the sense of security from both parties, you are off to a good start. Just remember to take your time. Really invest in getting to know the person you are with, flaws and all. You maybe wait until the rose-colored glasses come off before making any big decision. Now let's see. Is there any role of age factor in these two? Infatuation is generally in the context of teenage or adolescence, but there is generally no age associated with love. Anyone can be in love at any stage or age of life. But most love stories before the age of 20 are considered infatuation or puppy love, which may later convert into true love. Okay, now I think you become clear in these two confusing concepts of infatuation and love. Now you can easily decide whether you are in love or in an infatuation stage. Let's conclude now. This much for today's video. We will meet again with other useful topic in our next video. Feel free to comment, like and share, and most importantly, don't forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell button. Have a nice day. Namaste.